puberty is one of those crazy things. I mean,
It's a crazy time.
I look at these kids at Camp Aeronautic, and I mean, I'm only one half of the picture of the transgender spectrum. There's this entire other spectrum of the transgender community that has transitioned the other direction from me. They have gone from female to male, whereas in theory and biology, whatever, I've gone from male to female. I'm still not even sure how to explain exactly the terminology I want because I was always female.
Right.
So
I think that's really interesting the way that you've always said that. That some people describe themselves as, you know, growing up male. But I remember once you said to me that you had always felt female and you didn't really realize it until someone kind of pointed it out to you.
Exactly.
I think I asked you when your dysphoria kind of started showing up and you were like, well, I never had any dysphoria. That wasn't a thing that I experienced until people started telling me I wasn't a girl.
Right, yeah. Dysphoria was brought on to me by society because I knew I was a girl and they told me I wasn't.
Right.
I forgot saying that to you, yeah. And then like I was saying with the female to male, their bodies are changing in the opposite direction that they are desperately trying to not want to happen also. And so they're going through an entirely opposite process of puberty than I did. It's kind of almost like they went through the puberty that I wanted to go through and I went through the puberty that they wanted to go through. And
then there are the kids that fall in between.
exactly. I almost think that those kids have it harder because they are so fluid that we're in such a binary world that who knows that, I mean, they come out thinking I've either got to be male or female, and they can't accept that we're the bookends
Right.
of it, that there's this entire infinite number in between.
Right.
And
But I also can't imagine, you're right, being, you know, going through puberty the way that I did, but feeling like I was definitely male and having these things show up and no.
yeah, it's an amazing topic. It really is. I mean, that's the thing I believe that now that I'm such a number of years beyond puberty that I've discovered is there are no such thing as two genders. I mean, I don't know if there's an infinite number or if there's a zero number, but
Right.
I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I truly think though that gender is something that has been lost on humans almost from the past. In other words, that I think that if a person like myself was in a different culture in a different time and had possibly transitioned at puberty, let's say I was part of a Native American tribe that didn't look down on transgender children, what would have happened had I been raised in a society where it was accepted to be transgender?
Or even glorified.
Or glorified. I mean, and that brings on a whole nother level of discussion that would you have to transition then surgically if you're accepted 100% by society with whether or not you're male or female and whatever gender you present as, society would be perfectly fine with it? How far would we then have to go to express our gender? I've always wondered that question.
Do you have an answer?
I do not, because I don't think there really is an answer. But it's a fun question for me to think about.
It is.